Today's idea of the day is a new spin on the way the Revenge of the Sith ended. I recently did a Star Wars Prequel Marathon. I mean, an epic marathon, not just watching the 3 films, but I went through the 3 novels again, the inaudible format, which is about 10 hours per novel. So I went through about 30 hours of prequel novels, plus 6 hours of the prequel movies, and it got me thinking about a few things. And in today, I'd like to talk about a really important turning point that could have turned another way at the end of the 3rd prequel, The Revenge of the Sith. In that movie and the book, we all know there was a scene at the end where Anakin, of course, turned into Darth Vader. So at that point, he was Darth Vader. He wasn't wearing the costume, but he was Darth Vader. So Darth Vader goes into, basically, he blows his top. He goes out, he pledges allegiance to Darth Sidious, which was the Palpatine, and he then goes off to the temple. Sidious essentially tells him what to do. He gives him his marching orders. He says, "You cannot leave anyone behind. You have to go and do what is right." And he goes to the temple and he slaughters all the younglings, these little boys. And of course, in the novel, it's kind of nice. They give a little more background on that. So if you haven't listened to or read the novels, there's some great stuff there. But essentially, he goes into the temple and he starts, slicing them apart. Now, shortly thereafter, when Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda return to the temple because they want to turn on the beacon to tell the Jedi to just, get the heck out of there. So they go back to the temple, and Obi-Wan essentially says, "There's something I must do. I need to see with my own eyes what happened here." And of course, Yoda warns him not to look at the security footage because it would only end in heartache. But at that moment, Obi-Wan decides he's going to go to their essentially equivalent of the security cameras, their hollow security camera footage. And he sees 2 very prominent things. He sees Vader, which was Anakin, pledging himself to Darth Sidious, essentially saying, "I am now a Sith." And he sees the footage, very graphic because they kind of turned the camera away, of Vader, which was Anakin, slaughtering the little boys and the little girls, I guess, too. But they show this, and so now we have Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda looking at the footage, and then what do? They turn around and they hightail it out of there. Now, you would think that if they went and did what they did, they went into the temple, and they risked their lives to go back to the temple, let's face that. So they risked their lives to go to the temple, they turn on the beacon, they look at the footage. Why didn't they take the footage with them? I mean, wouldn't you have done that? You've got footage showing that there's a Sith and 2 Sith now, because Anakin's there, and you've got footage showing that these 2 people are what they are. And they had, at that time, something called a hollow net, which is their internet, it's their communication system. You would have thought that they would have taken the footage with them and broadcast it all around the galaxy, sent out copies of it, just like they sent the plans to the Death Star to that small team. But send that footage out so people knew what really happened. They actually had footage showing that there was this slaughter and this is what really happened, and it was that's what really happened. So that's today's idea of the day. That's what I would have done. I mean, what would you have done? Wouldn't you have done the same? What do you say? Hey, why don't you leave a comment once in a while? I love that. I have some of my videos. We got hundreds and hundreds of comments. See what you think about this. That's what I think would have been done. I mean, would you have done that? Maybe you wouldn't. Leave me a comment. Thanks for watching. All right, there it is. That's today's idea of the day. Some of them are pretty good, right? And some of them suck, I admit. First to admit, some of my ideas suck. But if you visit Idea of the Day every day and you subscribe to my channel by looking at the subscribe link in the corner, you'll see a brand new idea every single day. And I promise you, some of them don't suck.